Good morning, happy Monday or whatever day it is that you have managed to catch this. Now, this week, as we are coming to the end of the year, as we are getting nearer and nearer to Christmas, and as we are looking to improve and use techniques and tools for our lives next year to have the best life that we can, to have a better experience, I wanted to talk about your inner child, and I wanted to give you a really simple exercise that you can use to connect to your inner child anywhere, anytime, whenever you're feeling the need. So how this came about this week is whenever we get to the end of a year like this, I always start to think about things that I can do better, things that I can improve, and ways that I can connect more to myself and actually have a better life experience. And that's what I want to talk about this week. But before we get into all of that, I just wanted to say, if you're new here, hello, I am Jane. Welcome to me, to my world. I talk about mindset, manifestation, magic, I honestly believe that if we get the mindset right, we can do the manifestation and the magic will appear in our lives. And that is all that I'm about. And so if that sounds good, please like, subscribe, and stick around. And if you've come back for more, and this is, the second or third or fourth or fifth time you've found me and you've been in my world, then I'm so glad you're back. I love to see you, and this work that I do, connecting with people and helping people, it literally lights me up inside. And so that's why I'm here, and I'm so glad that you are too. So, for this week, inner child work, I honestly believe that fear stems from any fear that we have in our life, stems from us having lost a connection with our inner child. Fear, however, is such a big emotion and such a big aspect in our lives when we feel fear and it keeps us stuck. I wanted to elaborate and just talk about it a little bit more. Now, fear for me normally means that we have lost contact, if you like, with our inner child. When we are feeling some kind of fear, it's normally because we've lost that connection. Not because we wanted to, but because we've actively chosen to give up the connection with our inner child. And I think I want to just talk about this a little bit more, in that when I talk about your inner child, I talk about the person that you were when you were very, very young, when you had no fears, when you had no life experience to taint your vision and your imagination and your love and your just happiness and your joy. When you were in that state as that child, you didn't know anything else but joy, but being looked after, but being loved. Somewhere along the line, we get caught up in the emotions of life and we take on judgments and experiences that aren't necessarily ours, and we begin to believe things that life, if you like, instills into us. And when you abandon your inner child, that can do an awful lot of damage, not only to you as an adult, but also to your inner child. And so building that connection, building that back up as an adult, as the person that we are today, and actually being able to get back in touch with our inner child, can heal an awful lot of old wounds that we have brought with us from childhood all the way up to today. Now, in my world, I like to teach people to do something called natural wiring. And for me, your natural wiring is you getting in touch with your inner child. Basically, what I mean by that is that we all have a thing that makes us happiest. We all have something within us that when we think about that thing, It just makes us happy. It lifts our energy. It makes us high vibe. It makes us smile. We literally light up from the inside out when we do this particular thing, which is our natural wiring. And for me, your natural wiring actually stems from your inner child. It stems from childhood. If you can think back to that thing that you used to do as a child that absolutely made you feel totally and completely content and happy and joyful, that is your natural wiring. That is the thing that whenever you are feeling a fearful emotion, you should actually turn to and do. Now, for me, there was a couple of things that used to light me up from the inside out as a child and actually still do as an adult. One of them was singing. Now, I'm not a brilliant singer at all, and I don't sing in public very often. But if I get in the car, crank the stereo up, put on my favourite songs and sing at the top of my lungs like I am holding my own sort of world tour concert, it makes me feel happy and it makes me feel good. And as a very small child, music was always a massive part of my life. And so I know that if I'm feeling a bit down, if I'm feeling a bit low, if I'm feeling fear, if I put on my favourite song, crank up the music and stage my own concert, it's going to make me feel better and it's going to lift my energy and lift my vibration and get me out of that funk. The other thing, which is very different end of the scale, is reading. I used to immerse myself in books as a child and I could get totally lost in the book, in the story, in the plot, and I would become a character in that book. And so if I want to maybe, not go for the high vibe concert and get out in the car and get loud and perform, if you like, if I get myself a really good book and I read and I get immersed in the story again, it brings my vibe up, it makes me feel happy and it takes me out of those low vibration feelings. And so one of the tasks that I want you to do today on day 6 is I want you to get in touch with your inner child. I want you to think, what is your natural wiring? What is that thing that you used to do as a child that if you did today would lift your energy and would take away from the fearful, not so nice thoughts that are keeping you stuck in a low vibration? So think about that, right? Think about what is your natural wiring. For some people, it's, as I say, reading, dancing, singing, colouring in, going for a walk in nature, playing with your pets. It could be going to the beach. It could be getting out in nature and going for a walk in the forest. It can be anything, but that's the clue, right? That is what you used to do as a child that you loved, where you feel comfortable, where you feel happy. That is part of your natural wiring. But I want to take this a step further. And an exercise that I want you to do, I want you to write down 10 ways that you can connect with your inner child right now, today, in this moment. So get your notebooks out and I want you to write down 10 things that you used to love to do as a small child. So it could be going out for a walk, it could be going to the movies, it could be reading a book, it could be colouring, it could be singing, it could be the same, and it will be the same as your natural wiring, but elaborate. Don't just have one, don't just pick one, write them down in your list. And then once you've got that list, moving forward throughout the rest of your life, I want you to really make a concerted effort to try and do at least one thing on that list every single day, even if it's just going to the park at the end of the road and swinging on a swing for 5 minutes. You can find that time. Do one of those things on that list every day and it will connect you back to your inner child and it will make your inner child feel seen and heard and loved, and that is how you connect back into them. And then moving forward, anytime you feel low, anytime you feel fear, anytime you feel a rising sense of something you don't like, connect back into your inner child. Actually do something with them, play with them, do one of these things on your list, and it will, I promise you, make that emotion subside. So that is it for this week. Now, literally, when you see this, if you see this on the day I upload it, next week's going to be Christmas. You know, we are literally days away from Christmas. So I just want to say, as always, I'll be taking the next 2 weeks off. I will be spending time with my family, with my friends. I'm in England, so that's just fantastic, and I'm so happy that I get to have this Christmas at home with my friends. And I just wish you all the happiest of Christmas, the most amazing New Year ever. Just enjoy it. Be present with your family. Be present in the moment with your life, and don't let any of it pass you by. Enjoy every single moment of it. Thank you for being with me over this past year. Thank you for watching, for listening, for learning along with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I wouldn't be here doing what I do without you. So I hope that what I do is working, is helping, and I'll be back next year with more. Obviously, always. I'm not going to ever stop doing this because it's my life and I love it. But for now, just have the happiest of Christmases with whoever you are going to be with. And yeah, stop the social media scroll, stop the critical, stop the negative, and just be in the moment and enjoy all of it, because time is precious. This is precious. After the last couple of years, this Christmas I have a feeling is going to be just magical for all of us, because it's a time that we are able to get back with people and connect back with people and live with some relative normalcy, which is massive after what we've been through. So that's all I wanted to say. I am going to take a well-earned 2-week break, and I will see you at the beginning of 2023. My goodness, where did that time go? But yeah, I'll be back then. I hope you are too. Have the most amazing Christmas, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye.